Welcome to Towne 2. Today our goals are two. We're trying to work on essay writing, particularly with the connection to our Unit 4. So we want to create a solid introductory paragraph that previews the argument or thesis that you want to make and your main points. And we want to create a list of evidence that can be used to support your argument throughout the body of your essay. Again, this is in connection with time period 4, which is all about global interactions from 1450 to 1750. Specifically, our key concept has been about globalizing networks of communication and trade. And we've had several big ideas. Number one, new technology made travel across oceans possible. Transoceanic travel connected the eastern and western hemispheres for the first time. There's a global exchange of crops and animals which changed farming, diets, and populations around the planet. There's an increased demand for crops, causing the need for coerced labor on plantations. And culture spread when people migrated around the world. Now all this is leading to an essay question to see if we really understand these big ideas. And this question is, what were the causes and effects of transoceanic travel? And what we want to remember here is that when we make an argument to answer this question, we want to do so by arguing with evidence. So to get started, when we see a question like that, we might want to take those causes and effects and see if we can list them. So we look back and we see that this whole thing is about networks that we're developing. And we're trying to see what the causes of those networks were and all of this travel and all of the effects. So I take a look at my big ideas, and what I notice is that the first two are all about the causes. I have this transoceanic travel and the development of these networks. And I also notice that the last three are all about the effects. So I put them into my chart. Causes, new navigational technology, European explorations for quicker routes to Asia, and the effects, Columbian exchange of plants, animals, diseases, and animals, increased slavery to meet the labor demands of the Americas, and cultural diffusion resulting from the migration and interaction of peoples. Alright, so I got an idea of the causes and effects of transoceanic travel. Now I want to think about how to organize my essay. And in the introduction, I want to make my argument. In the body, I'll support that argument with evidence, and in the conclusion, I'll review the argument and mention a few of the best pieces of evidence. Here's what a sample introduction might look like. From 1450 to 1750, the world saw enormous changes because of the new networks of trade and communication. Alright, that's my background. That gives the time and place, 1450 to 1750, and the place, the whole world. This was caused by new navigational technology, which made it possible to travel across the entire oceans. Using these new tools, Europeans discovered a new world while trying to find quicker routes to Asia, and the eastern and western hemispheres were linked up for the first time. The effect of these new networks was the Columbian exchange in the Atlantic slave trade and cultural diffusion. Notice I've got the idea of cause and effect in the introduction, and I also put in there all of those causes that we had put in the chart before and all the effects. So all those green words are actually my big ideas. Now I have made my argument. Time to collect some evidence. What I did here is I just took those causes and effects, I put them in a chart, and I started coming up with some ideas. So what were some of those new pieces of technology? Well, one was the astrolabe, another was the magnetic compass. You by now should know some more as well. Those explorations that linked up the eastern and western hemisphere, well, one of them was the one by Columbus, where he sailed from Spain to the Caribbean, but you probably know a few of those as well. With the Columbian exchange, we've talked about all kinds of plants and animals that came from either the Old World or the New World. All of that would be great evidence to use in my essay. And you'll also be coming up with some ideas from the Atlantic slave trade and cultural diffusion and migration. Now remember, as you organize your essay, make your argument, support your argument with evidence, and review your argument and mention a few of your best pieces of evidence. Alright, time to wrap it up. Take a look at this worksheet. You should be given this by your world history teacher. You'll use it to do two things. Number one, you'll complete your introductory paragraph. You could take a look at the one in this presentation, but you should write yours in your own words. It should not be copied. Also, you need to make a list of evidence. You can use the evidence that's listed here in this chart, but then you should add some evidence of your own so that you have several pieces of evidence in each of these boxes. Alright, good luck with your essay.